particular message that's come in from somebody who co-starred with Roger in a TV series that was not shot here, shot at Pinewood, called The Persuaders. And I believe we've got that on tape, and the gentleman who's got it is going to play it to us. A little short message from Mr. Tony Curtis.
Here we are, talking to one another. I hope you're listening. I understand you're getting a blue plaque. Roger, you deserve the blue plaque.
Good morning everybody, welcome to MotorHome Beat Beat. My name is Alan and I'm at St Mary's Church in Denham. I've been here before and it was to do John Mills last time, but today it's for Christina Knudsen. She was the stepdaughter of Sir Roger Moore, and yeah, it's quite a sad story, this one. Roger's named on a grave because they were very close, but it is a beautiful church and a beautiful village. Look, I'll show you. There we go. See what I mean? It's very, very lovely looking. Look at the flowers. How they're gorgeous. Well, bushes, I mean, not flowers. Well, they are flowers on bushes. What's wrong with me? So we're going to head in and find a final resting place. It's a sad one, I'm afraid, this one. I can't glorify it. Christina was the daughter of Kiki Falstrop. She was a multi-millionairess and the fourth wife of Sir Roger Moore. I was actually lucky enough to be Sir Roger's web manager for about 20 odd years up to his death, and so yeah, I'd met him many times, and I actually do believe that Kiki made Roger the happiest he'd ever been, from what I observed and what I noted. She was a very sweet woman. I met her as well a few times. Very feminine and she sort of exuded a kind of sweetness. She really did. Christina did say that she'd known Roger, had been in her life since she was 9 years old, and Roger was the first person that made a big difference to her life, made it positive and made it good. He had a nice influence on her, because she had a lot of tragedies in her life which we're going to delve into, but at least Roger did the good thing. He looked after the girl and tried to, and you know, kind of mentored her really. I think he was a really good influence. Christina had lived in London since 2007, and in 2014 she started a social group for single people. It was called Ochun, O-C-H-U-N. Can't pronounce words, I'm terrible. And she had been married before. She married an investment banker, Niccolo Albianus, they called him, I believe. And they had this most lavish party. It was, you know, one of those where everybody went who was a big name, you know, like Michael Winner and Dame Joan Collins and all these people rolled out. And it was in the hills behind Cannes. A Law magazine covered it. Big money, big event, but unfortunately the marriage only lasted 1 year. Isn't that a shame? She did say later on that she'd felt pressurised to get married, and she didn't really know herself, which is often the case what young people do. And she obviously realised as soon as she got living with the person, it wasn't for her. It's so sad when people do that, isn't it? They always say you've got to live with somebody to get to know them, and it's true. Yeah. Like in The Quiet Man, do you remember? With John Wayne. She'd also spent 4 years in a relationship with Janus. I know he had a nickname, Frillis, and they used to call him Frisky in the middle. That was his nickname, I believe. He was a multi-millionaire, co-founder of Skype. But it doesn't matter. Does it matter how much money a person's got? At the end of the day, if you don't love them and you don't get on with them and you can't feel happy with them, the money's never going to make up for that, is it? And it didn't. The relationships didn't last. There's a lesson for a start. We don't need the money. Her life was littered with tragedies, literally. Her father, Hans Christian Knudsen, killed himself when he was accused of tax evasion. And then she had a stepfather, what was his name now? Ole Falstrup, that was it. And he was an alcoholic. he ended up dying from alcoholism. So yeah, she really did have a more than a fair share of problems. Just got to show you this house here, look. Quick, I don't want to focus too much, but isn't that cute? Lovely looking. So we better move on and find the grave, because it's not this section. She told the Evening Standard in 2014 that all these tragedies that had happened in her life had affected her, and she kind of didn't trust the opposite sex. And in a way, when you've had few bad relationships and so many knocks, and once again the money doesn't stop it hurting, she was fragile, I believe. And throughout this, Roger had supported Christina, probably a father figure in his 80s, and he was a good influence, like I said before. But you see, he'd met Kiki in 2002 and they'd married. He'd left his third wife, Louisa, the Italian lady, who was very visceral in the press and caused a great rumpus. But Christina, in November 2002, wrote to the Daily Mail, and she said a mother may not be objective, but she was a very kind, sweet, gentle soul, and she wouldn't have done anything intentionally to hurt people. It was just... Roger had prostate cancer, and he suddenly got that wake-up call that life doesn't go on forever. He'd obviously fallen for Kiki, and he decided he was going to go, and nothing stopped him. He left, even though he had family. You know, sometimes you just got to do what you've got to do. And as I say, I think he was very, very happy with his relationship at the end. It seemed that way to me, and from what I read. I think she admitted that her mother wasn't very objective, but she was a very kind person, and that's what really mattered. Roger and Kiki kept very quiet about the relationship. They did that not to cause any rumpus and not to hurt anyone. I mean, there's one thing you could say about Roger for sure. He was a kind person. Look at the UNICEF ambassadors thing, the children. He was on a Bond film, and he used to think, what am I going to have for lunch today? No matter, you know, be doing this high budget film and smart suits and beautiful women around him, but in the poorest locations sometimes. And he admitted, all I had on my mind was, what will be lunch today? And he caught himself, and he suddenly realised how selfish, you know. And there's all these terrible, these children, you know, lacking water and lacking food, and in the most awful situations. I've just passed John Mill there. Just show you, look, that was his friend. Just got to show you. There, John Mills. But we haven't come to see John today. We've done that one already. And so Roger had this wake-up call.
And there's a particular message that's come in from somebody who co-starred with Roger in a TV series that was not shot here, shot at Pinewood, called The Persuaders. And I believe we've got that on tape, and the gentleman who's got it is going to play it to us. A little short message from Mr. Tony Curtis.
Here we are, talking to one another. I hope you're listening. I understand you're getting a blue plaque. Roger, you deserve the blue plaque. I don't know what it looks like, but I'm sure it's going to fit your head. Always. The film profession of ours owes so much to you for all those years that you've dedicated to the films. And I appreciate your friendship and the time we had together. So my handsome friend, take care. Don't let that blue plaque fall in your head.
It doesn't say 1927. This one I was quite busy, 1927, 2006. Where's my doctor?
I bought a house in Denham, and Paul Daniels eventually had that house, and he didn't make it disappear.
I just want to take a moment to tell you about my new channel. It's called Your Parking Films. That's exactly what it is. It's places where I've stayed for the night in my motorhome, but it's also your parking films. I want you to send them into the channel. It's going to be on YouTube, and you can WhatsApp them in or Viber. Now, this is a lovely spot. I parked there last night. Look, I'll show you the village. It's a very tranquil little village. That's Denham village down there. That's St Mary's Church. That's where I stayed. It's very quiet. You get hardly any vehicles. Beautiful place. 2 little pubs down there. And look at this. If you go into the village, you can have a drink, and then when you're coming back and you're leaving, you can even fill it with water. There's a water tap there. Can't beat that, can you? So Denham village is very close to Uxbridge, about 20 miles from London. So a lovely little park up if you want to stay for the night. And don't forget, send your films to the channel, Your Parking Films. You can WhatsApp them, Viber, on 07813 779 273. We'll build up a fantastic collection of places to stay throughout the country, and you can actually see what the place is like before you go. Roger had been to a meeting for UNICEF where Audrey Hepburn had been the speaker, and Audrey approached him and she said, Roger, you could do this. You could do a great deal for all these starving and dying children, you know, getting mental disease because they didn't have enough iodine in the and stuff like that. And it hit him, and being the caring soul that he was, he then paid his £1. No, he got paid £1. Sorry, that's the way to do it. They pay £1 for the year. There's UNICEF, and then Roger worked for them, and he became an ambassador, and he did a fantastic job for the last years of his life. He was a caring person, there's no doubt. Roger told on Twitter that Flossie, that was Christina's nickname, had died at 10 AM that day, and it was a very sad tweet. He put the family heartbroken at her death, and he then posted, we're all with her, and we're all surrounding her with love at the end. So yeah, that was I'm feeling sad now. That was the last thing he kind of wrote about the girl, but it'd be a devastating thing. You've got to, it's a good thing to feel. I mean, I'm feeling sadness now because I did have a little bit of a connection with him, because it's a long story, I won't go into it now. I love the Persuaders, and so I met Tony Curtis many times, and he was superb. I actually probably was friendlier with Tony than Roger, because Roger was a little bit reserved, but as I say, a sweet guy really. It's a long story that, but sometimes you've got a relationship with people, haven't you? And I found them both to be absolutely beautiful people. Nobody's perfect. Tony Curtis wasn't perfect, was he? And he admitted it. He was bluntly honest about it. But Roger was always a bit more reserved. That was his style. I'm very privileged to have known him and to have been his webmaster for 20 odd years, along with Mark Nichols, who helped me. So we're now here. We're now approaching Christina, or Flossie, as they all endearingly thought of her, and I'm going to spin it round so you can get to it with me. Here we go. Moving in. It's a beautiful grave, isn't it? Tucked away in the corner. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah. Just say, very sorry for your death, Christina. You died far too soon. Just got to move those flowers while I read it. I can't do it with those there. I'll pop them back in a moment. Okay. I'm going to read the stone now. The centre bit, the main part, says, Our dear Flossie, Helen Christina Knudsen, the 2nd of November 1968 to the 25th of July 2016, in loving memory of Sir Roger George Moore KBE of Denham. 14th of October 1927 to the 23rd of May 2017, resting in Monaco. Yeah, that's where his commemorative plaque is. And it says around the top there, he made their glowing colours. Oh yeah, I get it now. Each little flower that opens, each little bird that sings, he made their glowing colours he made their tiny wings. And on this film, we've got a special appearance by a lovely lady here, and she's coming in, and she's in the distance, but she's charging in now. Here she comes. Hang on, let me swing. And she is, what's your name?
My name is Rena.
Rena!
I
Go
love
see.
so much, Roger.
Yeah, she does.
I miss.
Come in a bit nearer. Yeah, no, listen, we've got to say that this is probably one of the leading admirers of Roger Moore. In actual fact, me and her met because of Roger, so she's a massive admirer of Roger's, aren't you?
I love him. I done it for him, for his memory, because I love him so much.
Okay. And she's brought the flower, haven't you, flower?
Yeah, of course.
So we're going to put the flower in.
Yeah.
No, in fact, you can put the flower in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you put the flower in over there. This is the flower from MotorHome Beep Beep. It's not a real one. It's not a real one. It's I'd put it in the soil. I'd pop it in the. Do you think so?
Yeah, it's very
Do you like
nice.
it there?
Yeah, I like.
Okay, she likes it there.
The
Look.
difference.
Yeah. Yes, it does. It does. It does. It
From
does.
us to Roger.
That's
We love.
right. That's right.
We love.
That's
We love,
right.
Because we love Roger.
That's it. That's right. Yes, that's right. So there we go. There she is. There we are. Very nice. Okay, so that's Rena. She, as I say, she.
Thank you so much, Roger, for all your acting that you gave to
Hang on,
us.
say again.
Thank you so much, Roger, for all your acting years that you gave in to us. You was perfect to all. As a James Bond, as everything.
And UNICEF.
Yes.
There we go. So that's very touching. She misses him. It's all right, Rena. Don't worry. Don't worry.
We love him.
We do. So we've had a chance to pass our thoughts today. That's the main thing, isn't it? Okay, you all right?
Yeah.
That's it. Come on, it's all right. That's it. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. That's it. So there we are. We can't be too sad, can we? We've got to, yeah. So that's Christina. Okay, we're gonna go now. We've done the flower, and we've said our little bit. So,
Bye
hang on. Rena wants to say bye bye. Want to say bye bye?
bye. Bye bye. Always we will miss Roger and we love Roger.
There we are. Okay. We'll shut this one down together. Come on, let's go. Goodbye, Christina.
Bye
So-
bye, Roger.
So there we are, from both of us. We have a connection with this one today, don't we? And I think you've got to remember one thing. Honestly, you do remember this, that if we're healthy, we've got everything, and even if you've got problems with your health, don't worry too much, because everybody as a human being look at the worst scenario and worry too much. And most of these things just don't happen. It's the human condition. We worry more than we should do. So pick the positive stuff, because it's a fact that if you're positive and you feel happy, your body's healthier and you can cope better. And if you do the opposite, it's the opposite. So be thankful for what you got today. So from both Rena, hang on,
Thank you so much.
she's down there. Sam, me, Alan.
See you again.
yeah,
you.
yeah,
See
okay.
you.
So what it is the gimbal, the gimbal shot up. She's not that small, really. Okay. The gimbal went up in the air, the thing. So from both of us today, a MotorHome Beep Beep. Don't forget, thumbs up. Oh, I forgot, thumbs up. Love on the comments. Love the comments, I do. And subscribe if you like the channel. For both of us, take care. We'll see you
Bye-bye.
all soon. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.